to it. I've got two cameras on looking back at me. So I'm gonna be talking to you two today. Ashley and Alicia and Rachel. I don't even think Ashley's camera's on actually. But anyway, here we go. All right. Y'all ready for this? Are y'all ready for Monday? Are you guys ready? Oh, there's Ashley. Hello. Your picture looked so real. I was like, oh my gosh, her little girl's so cute. Okay. So I'm pumped up for today. I'm so pumped up because I was up early. I was doing my workout and I was listening to some really good podcasts. And when I tell you all these things that I'm learning, here's what I want you to deeply understand. I'm not the smart person who has thought of all of these concepts, okay? These concepts I have learned, these new ways of thinking, I have learned from what I listen to. So while other people are listening to music and my kids get so annoyed when they're like, oh my gosh, another audiobook, another podcast, they're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to listen anymore. I'm like, I don't care. This is way more important information than listening to Morgan Wallen 50 million times. Can I get an amen? Leave those Broadway girls alone and listen to some podcasts, okay? I love that I just did that. I feel like I need to high five myself for that because that was really good plan worth. Rachel's about to get keyboard happy down there. I can see. So and listen, my babies are not deprived. I listen to as much Moana as I do podcasts. So don't be misinformed on that. So here's the thing that I was listening to this morning that got me so fired up is he was talking about how excuses, sometimes I think we think excuses are things that if I just felt motivated enough, I could push through. If I just felt like how Alita feels about Plexus, I would just keep going. Well, if I had Alita's personality, or if I had Emily Roberts, or if I had Lisa Young's contagious excitement, I would be where I want to be. And it's just not true. It's just not true. I have seen every type of personality be successful in this business. I have watched the most introverted people. You wouldn't even know their names. If I told you who they are, you'd be like, I've never heard of this person. And they're diamonds making insane money. Okay. So this is not about personality. It's not about how much I can, change my personality. This is really about what are my limiting beliefs of myself. And when I ask that question, I go further into what do I believe I deserve and my self-worth? Because I know for me, if I have a limiting belief around something where it's like, if I say something like, I've tried every single diet there is, nothing works for me. What is my limiting belief? Is that actually true? Or would you want more information? I'm pretty sure Michael, if I hired him as my personal trainer, he'd be like, sis, let's get on a call and let's have some more conversations. When you say you've tried everything, tell me more about that. How long have you tried? Right? Are you day 3 and you're like, I can't make it. I got to have the candy, or I got to have whatever, or I can't make it to the gym. Another great example is Lisa Young's used to tell me, I am not a morning person. I would not expect a message from this girl 10 years ago until 9:30. Like that was her family's time, right? 9:30, she's waking up, sometimes later. Now she messages me before I'm up. So Lisa, did your personality change? Did all of a sudden you're just like, I'm a morning person and I love it?
Well, I drew the line in the sand. I disciplined myself, made myself get up, but now I am a morning person. It's the craziest thing. And Jeff and I have always been night owls and never thought we would say the day that we are morning people.
And it just becomes, who do I want to be? And is it more important? Is it more important for me to become who I want to be than it is for me to stay stuck where I am? So if you're somebody who's not getting up till 8 or 9 o'clock, there's no shame in that, but you have to decide, is that worth it? Is it worth it to continue to do that? If I'm somebody who's like, I love to work out, but I'm just not making the time for it, Is that who I want to be? Is that the example I want to set for my kids? More importantly, I want to go back to this. More importantly, is do I feel like I deserve the self-care of working out? Do I believe like I deserve the self-care of having 4 hours of kid-free time to work my business? Or do I feel like I deserve to have space to create a different life for myself? Do I believe that I can make it to where my husband can come home and not have to stress out about money? Do I believe that I can do those things? So, in designing your life, okay, and this is actually what I'm going to be working on personally today, is really sitting down and taking an account of where my life is and where I want it to go. So I do this every single year at the beginning of the year, but here lately I've started to do it monthly because life is moving so fast for me. And we have a lot of change happening continuously with having so many kids, is that our schedules change, our priorities change, our help needs change, right? Maybe like Rachel's businesses, or she's wanting to make a change in her life in different ways. As you're wanting to make changes, or as you're noticing changes being kind of just being circumstantial, sit down and be like, how do I want my life to look like for the next 4 weeks? What can I focus on to really move the needle forward? Alex Hermosi, I sent this to Alicia this morning. And we were laughing because it was like, oh my gosh, like she does this anyway. But he says, if you want to make $100,000 a month, okay, this is massive money, right? If you want to make $100,000 a month, he goes, set a timer for 4 hours, don't leave your desk, and focus on marketing. Advertise. Literally, number one, set a timer for 4 hours. Number two, advertise. Somebody give me a high five in the air. That's not difficult. So while I'm advertising, I'm listening to things. How can I advertise better? How can I get on social media and learn social media better? How can I make videos and make content to advertise better, right? How can I become better? And so that really got me thinking, what if you were to do that with your life, right? What if you were to do that with your Plexus business? What if you were to do that with your anything in your life, food planning, whatever, meal prep? What if you were to just decide, I'm setting a timer for 4 hours and that's what I'm focusing on, period, end of story. That is what's happening. What is going to guarantee happen for you? I can already tell you the answer is you're going to become better at advertising. You're going to grow in a skill set of social networking and marketing. But here's what we do instead. We take 20 minutes here and we wait for ourselves to be fueled up. We wait for that motivation to hit. And then we're like, I'm messaging 60 people a day. And then what happens? Middle of the month, can I see some hands where you start to slow down? You start to be like, I don't know. I can't keep up. I got to get off the way. It's because we're not creating habits. You don't look like your goals. You look like your habits. Your business does not look like your goals. Your business does not look like a diamond business. Your business looks like your habits. And if you're habitually a powerhouse at the beginning of the month and the end of the month, but the middle of the month, you really slow down, that's a habit. That's a pattern that you've created, that you've decided is acceptable. If you are on fire one day and the next day you're like, I'm struggling, that's a pattern. Everything is a pattern. Everything is a pattern. Look at it. If you will look at it, Tony Robbins says, if I can teach my kids one thing, it's to learn to recognize patterns, because then you can understand that you have the power to change those patterns. What patterns do you have that are slowing you down from the life that you want, the life that you want to design? What pattern is stopping you from doing that? And here's the one thing that really inspired me is when Lisa decided to wake up early. I will be honest with you. I was like, this will end after 75 hard challenges over. She'll go back to sleeping in and I'll be in her inbox like, hey, message me when you're up, right? And when she hasn't, She slept in one day last week till y'all like 7:30. Okay. We're talking 7:30 sleep in. And she messaged me and we were talking and she's like, I feel so off. My day is off. I feel like everything is gone downhill. I'm like, that's me. That's me too. If I sleep in, I pay the consequence and I can see how my old patterns really were hindering me from success in my life, not just plexus success. And it doesn't mean you have to get up early to be successful, but what it means is, am I getting a head start on my day or am I starting out feeling behind? That's hugely important. That's hugely important. If you wake up feeling like you're behind, that's going to throw your whole day into just a mess, right? So, what are things that you're doing that are moving your needle forward that you're actually creating a habit? And when I say habit, I mean when you don't do it, your own self. It's not like I'm ashamed of myself because I didn't work out. It's literally like I can't live like this. Right? I don't know. Have you ever had like too much sugar and you literally cannot eat another bite of sugar? Like you're just like, I cannot, like I can't eat another thing. I'm so full. I'm so like, ugh, like I just can't. That's how a habit should feel. It's like, I have to work out. I feel so like mentally reliant on this habit that I hold my own self accountable. So when does that kick in? So some experts are like 21 days and it kicks in. Some experts are like, you could feel like next week. To me, it's all about when you notice the benefit. When the benefit starts to outweigh the cost. So for me, when I was widowed and single momming and have 4 kids under 6, I really want to just paint a picture here for you for a second of how I had to now massively rely on and develop new patterns at a lightning quick speed to be able to provide for my family. So for me, a habit that I created that I still have to this day drives my husband insane, drives my kids insane, but it is a non-negotiable habit for me. I don't even think about it. Is I listen to something absolutely positive that will wreck me every single day. Every single day, something that holds me accountable to becoming a better person. Something that holds me accountable to striving to be my best. So there I am in the bathroom, putting on my makeup, curling my hair, listening to Alex Hormozy, listening to Lewis Howes, listening to whoever, Les Brown, whoever it is. I'm listening to something every single day because that's all I had. That's all I had, right? It wasn't an option for me to just take 4 days off and be like, well, we'll just see what happens. If I miss a day, can I tell you, I'm a different person. I miss it. I'm that weirdo sitting in Universal Studios listening to something awesome while, I'm pregnant and can't ride the rides. So, what habits, where do you need to grow? Drop some things in the comments where you're just like, this is where I need to grow. I need to grow in marketing. If you're not getting personal sales, you probably need to grow in marketing. That's okay. Right? You maybe need to grow in social media. That's okay. But stop putting it off for someday I'll figure it out. Someday is code for never. Right? And so the next thing that he talked about was busyness is the anthem for the non-committed. And I'm going to go a little deeper into this because I feel like this is an area that I find a lot of high achievers. We love to be busy. We love to be doing all the things and volunteering here and volunteering there and saying yes to this and saying yes to that and taking on, at the time I had a farm, taking on more animals, right? The more animals, the better. The more responsibility, the more chickens, the more dogs, the more whatever I had, the better. Right? Taking on more responsibility. The more sports teams my kids could be on, the better, right? Whatever it looks like for you, you create a busyness. It's just something to look for. That's all I'm saying. This is something that you could be looking for. As I was listening to this podcast, it struck a nerve with me of, wow, okay, where am I actually just being busy just to be busy? Busyness is the anthem for the non-committed. Woo! I mean, you want to talk about just slap in the face? I was like, okay, hold up. Let's talk about this for a second. Busyness is the anthem for the non-committed. And when you look at my lifestyle from when I started Plexus, when I was homesteading, okay, to now, and when I was really building my business and actively signing people up on airplanes, signing up strangers that I was just walking up to, doing Zooms constantly, hosting team calls all the time, really, really, really actively building, my kids were not in anything. That was the cost for me. That was the sacrifice. Now each of them get to go on these big fancy trips. Now each of them get to go on all the things and enjoy the fruits of my labor. But at that time, I had to cut out all busyness. I couldn't afford it. Every yes that we say yes to, we're saying no to our dreams. That's what you have to look at. So if I want my husband to come home, but I'm also going to say yes to every other thing that I'm going to do, and then I'm trying to stuff a 6-figure business I'm trying to create in 30 minutes, is that going to work? Probably not. So when I think about busyness being the anthem for the uncommitted, it's like I was all in to the point where it's like I was so committed, it was crazy. If you watch any documentary on how Pizza Hut, McDonald's, any Apple, any of these big things, it took all in commitment. So now I know a lot of you are probably like, I can't tell my kids to quit their sports. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying go and quit everything. I'm just saying, what lie are you telling yourself an excuse? It's like, I'm too busy. I'm so busy. I'm so busy. Is it keeping you focused on what you want? Is it where you want to be going? And when you look at, John Maxwell says, show me your 24 hours and I'll show you exactly why you're not successful. What are you doing in those 24 hours that is moving your needle forward? Most people are just living the same day over and over and over again, right? And then at the end of the week, we're like, oh my gosh, I didn't do anything. I didn't send messages. That clarity is so important. That clarity is so important. So whatever that goal looks like for you, whether that's in, I need to be a better leader. I need to learn how to be a better listener. I need to learn how to be, a better social media person. I need to, whatever those things are, and they will never stop. I want to be a more present mom. Whatever those things are that you're wanting, what are you spending your time doing? And what patterns and habits can you create to go along with it to make this make more sense, to make it easier on yourself, where it doesn't feel so much like a discipline, it becomes easy. And actually, Cheryl shared a really great thing this morning. He was talking about discipline. He's like, discipline feels hard. And difficult is only difficult because it's new and unfamiliar. After a while, I mean, when's the last time you guys heard me say, I got up early today? I don't say it because I do it every day, right? It's just become who I am. I never walk in the room. I'm not like, hi, Alicia. My name's Alita. I'm a non-smoker. I never say that. Why? Because I've never smoked. I'm not a smoker. Right? It's the identity that we tell ourselves. Hi, my name's Alita and I quit everything I start. Hi, my name's Alita. I'm the busiest person you'll ever meet. These things people say. I'm the busiest person you'll ever meet. I challenge that against any single mom. First of all, single moms are the busiest people ever, truly. Busyness is the anthem for the non-committed. Come on, that's so freaking good. And if you really look at that and ask yourself, what am I busy doing? But what actually moves my needle forward? And so today I'm literally going to sit down right after this call and I'm writing down my design for my life for the next 4 weeks, but then also for the next 5 years, which again, I do every single year, but I'm revamping it with that in mind. Do I want to be the mom that's going 100 miles an hour in busyness? Or do I want to be somebody who's like, I've got this planned. I've got this figured out. I've got control of this because I'm clear on where we're going and what we're doing. So I can rest at the end of the day when I know I put my 4 hours in of advertising. I can go to the baseball games, the basketball games, knowing I did my thing. I killed it today. So for some of us, and for me, that looks like getting up early. That looks like staying up a little bit later. That looks like fitting it in where I can. I think the main thing is it's like, it's not even so much about the 4 hours. I think that we have to be able to manage our time differently based on different circumstances. But the thing that I know to be so true is that when you're clear on what you want, you won't falter. You won't go up and down, back and forth. You will stay the course and really ask yourself, what is an area I need to grow in? How come I can be so fired up and then feel like a wet blanket just hit my fire? It's all your mindset. That's it. It's our mindset. So really focusing on, who do I want to be this week? Who do I want to be for the rest of the month? And if I'm putting it through the filter of, we're not forced. We're not forced to work Plexus. We're not forced to take our kids to sports. We're not forced to take, all the things that we say yes to. We're not forced to volunteer. Those are things we choose to do. And I love it. And sometimes there's seasons for yes, and sometimes there's seasons for no. And what season are you in? And what season can you say yes to really get moving in your business? And so really, when I think about it, all of it comes down to mindset. All of it comes down to, am I living the life I want? If the answer is yes, awesome. Keep doing exactly what you're doing. If the answer is no, there's nothing wrong or scary about taking inventory of, where am I at? How does this feel? What can I do differently? How do I need to adjust and move some things around to make this work so I can actually move my needle forward in whatever that is? Maybe it's working out. Maybe it's Plexus. Maybe it's home life. But how can I move my needle forward? That is a huge thing. How can I move my needle forward? And for Plexus, I can tell you exactly how you can move your needle forward. Market and network. And then network more and market more. And you will eventually get there. Invest in yourself and remember that you're doing the freaking best you can. It is such a beautiful thing to sit down and really know that you're probably 1% of the entire population that will actually ever sit down and be like, okay, where do I actually want to go? How can I improve my life? Most people just go through life, right? Just going day to day to day. This is my life and it's just the way it is. It doesn't have to be that way. You literally can design the life you want. So what does that look like? And really making that and making a difference for yourself. So I hope that was helpful for you, like it was for me today, in just really knowing, okay, I can take a good inventory where I'm at. What do I want to be doing? How's my schedule looking? What am I saying yes to I shouldn't be? Or is there anything? Maybe everything's going great, but I needed to make some adjustments. And so as we're in the middle of the month, it's really easy to start to feel like, oh gosh, I don't want to keep pushing. I don't want to keep, but this is the time you lean in the valleys and the lulls and the quiet spaces. This is when you're messaging. This is when you're doing it. So that's when you see people at the end of the month in momentum. It's like, they did the things in the middle of the month, right? So I really, really love that you guys are on here. I really admire that you're willing to grow and you're willing to learn. I know a lot of people listen to personal growth and all they hear is all the ways that they suck. And that is not what it is. And that is a mindset decision. That is not what it is. All that it is looking at it from a place of, I'm excited. I could literally 10x my business if I learn some new skill sets, right? If I learn something new this week, I'm excited. And if you're afraid of that, that's something you need to look in deeper of. Am I afraid of success? Am I afraid of winning? Do I feel worthy? Because it's exciting to grow and change and learn. And it's exciting to see your business start to boom because of decisions that you made and changes that you made and implemented. So, love y'all. Let's go kill it. Happy Monday. Go design the life that you want. It's possible. It's doable. And you're on here saying, yes, I want a change. So don't be afraid to take that inventory and just look at one thing that you could change. What's one thing that you could move the needle forward that would change your life? That would make your life easier, make it better. An extra hour a day. I'm telling you, I read the 5 a.m. book club and I've never been the same person. The perfect morning or perfect day or something it's called. And it changed everything for me. I gained an extra hour every single day, right? So what is that one thing that you could do to make your life better and then make it a habit? All right. Peace out, yos. Love ya.